Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Nathaly Raya, so welcome. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing my 2 story times with you guys. So let's just call it story time slash job experiences, and let's just get to it. Okay, so I am going to start off with, I'm not going to name the place, but I used to work in this location and it was a clothing store. So for this first one, I'm at work and I am with another coworker, male, we'll call him No Name. So No Name and I are working. He's in the back, he's doing his thing, and I'm like in the front. So this guy comes in and this guy looks super sketchy, and he has a backpack on. I asked to hold his backpack, so I leave it at the front and then he goes and like shops around. While I'm doing my stuff, I'm like keeping an eye on this guy just because he looks like really sketchy. I know that sucks, judging people by their looks and whatnot. So I see him grab a few shirts and then putting them back, and then grabbing more and then putting them back, and this guy is stuffing 2 shirts down his pants. I only saw him like taking his hands out, so I didn't really see him put the shirts in. I just saw him taking his hands out of his like crotch area, and then I see 2 empty hangers and I'm like, oh hell no. So I'm trying to get No Name's attention, but he's in the back, he's like in his zone, and I'm like trying to get his attention but without like making it known. So what I do is I try and get like closer. So it's me, shoplifting guy, and then No Name. So I start walking halfway and the guy sees me that I'm walking towards him. So I finally get his attention. I'm just like, come here now. And so he understands whatever I'm doing, my signals. As soon as he saw me, I was like, okay, I got his attention, he's coming to the front, good. So then I start speed walking to the front, and then the guy sees me and like he knows that something is wrong, so like he starts coming behind me, and then behind the shoplifting guy is No Name. And what I do is I go to the front and I lock the door, and there's like a little switch where you could lock it automatically and then you could lock it like manually with your hands, you know, the little, yes. So I do the little switch and then I also do that one, and once I do that, the guy grabs his backpack and then he's like trying to walk out, but I'm just at the same time like trying to like wait for No Name. So it's a door, we have our sensors, and then I'm in between the door and the sensors. So when the shoplifting guy gets close to me, he starts beeping. Obviously he's stolen some stuff, and so No Name over here is behind him and he's just like, sir, can we see what you have in your bag because you just beeped? And so I'm like just standing there right by the door, obviously, so he doesn't walk out. So what this guy does is takes out his pocket knife and points it at me, and he's just like, open the door. But it was only for like 1 second because he turned around really quick and then he started pointing at No Name. I guess because he was a male and he was older. So right away, as soon as he took his pocket knife, I was just like, holy crap. He turned around and I like walked away. Like it was just like instantly. So I walked away, I got to the phone. While he was talking to me, he had already like turned around by the end of his sentence. So it was so quick. So he was mainly pointing the knife at No Name. So I was like shook AF. I was by the phone and my hands were shaking. I was trying to dial 911 and I just couldn't. So I picked up the phone and I'm just hearing the dialing noises, and I'm hearing it. I have it right next to my ear, but I'm also trying to see what is going on. Like, is this guy really about to do something crazy? He starts putting his knife through the doors, like that locking part. So he starts going like this and he's trying to figure it out. And by that time, No Name, he is not freaked out at all. He's literally right behind him and just saying, sir, calm down. Like, and then my dumbass is over here by the phone, hearing the noise that the phone is making, trying to dial, but my hands are literally shaking, so I cannot dial. I want to say it was all like within, I don't know, like 20 seconds. It was just so fast, and I was shaking. I couldn't dial 911. This guy unlocked it, he forced the door open and then just left. And when he was already forcing it, trying to go out, I was like, okay, so we're not in danger anymore. I dialed 911 and it rang, and then No Name starts walking towards me and he's just like, whoa, that was crazy. And I hang up and I'm like, I know. I was just shook. It was way too early in the morning. It was a weekday. Yeah, that is basically it. A guy pointed his pocket knife at me. That might not seem like a lot to you guys just because it was for 1 second and it was a pocket knife. I don't know what harm could that make, but it was beyond scary to have a stranger thing. There was definitely something wrong with him. there you go. That is my story time number 1. Okay, for this next story time, it isn't as intense at no, let me take that back. It is really intense, and I'm still thinking about it, like how did I allow that to happen? There was definitely no knives involved on this one, so let me just jump right into it. So, clothing store. I'm working, I have a co-worker. This lady comes in, tall, white, skinny. I really don't know the full extended definition to tweaker, but I feel like she was a tweaker. So this girl is shopping. She has a tiny little backpack. Anyway, so she got us a few items. I want to say she grabbed about 7 items. She went to the dressing room, and I already knew she was really sketchy. I was like, you know what? I'm on her. Like, I'm gonna get her the room, and I'm gonna make sure she comes out with every single one of the items. So I'm going through her stuff. I'm making sure that each and every item has a sensor, and I'm making sure that there's only one item in one hanger, so I could know how many exact items there is. Anyway, so I give her her room. She goes in. She takes not that long. I want to say that I already knew like how much someone takes when they try on 2 pieces, 4 pieces, 8 pieces. Like, I already know how long a normal person takes. So around the 6th piece, I was just like, okay, she's about to come out. Okay, so this girl comes out super fast with nothing on hangers, just like a few items on her. And then I'm like, did those work out for you? Like, I'm trying to talk to her really fast because she was already walking out really fast. And then she goes, oh yeah, I'm gonna take these. So I'm like, oh, okay, so she is buying something. So she starts walking towards the register. While she does that, I go in the dressing room super fast. I look around and I see all the hangers, and I'm just like, oh hell no. Right away I start running out. By the time I get halfway, she's already at the door. She had left those like 2 items on the register, so she literally pretended she was gonna go pay, left those 2 items and walked out. Anyway, she beeped. I run after her and I'm like, ma'am, could you please come back? You just beeped. She's like, oh, I didn't take nothing. I swear I'm late. I have to go pick up my daughter. I'll be right back. Can you please hold those items? And I'm just like, no, ma'am, like, you just beeped. You need to come back in because blah, blah, blah. I have to check your bag. So this girl is still walking. She's not going to the parking lot. She starts walking towards the side. So she's basically on her feet. So I'm walking right behind her and I was basically like, you need to come in right now. I'm not gonna let you go anywhere. So she's still making up a bunch of stuff about how she needs to go and how she left everything in the dressing room, how she needs to go get her daughter, this and that. Anyway, so she passed a few stores and they're all like in an L shape, like a plaza. You guys been to a plaza, right? So she starts walking. This girl walks into a Goodwill, and I think I was like maybe, I don't know, like 10 feet away from her. So I opened the door and I don't see her anymore. I'm guessing she took off running. I don't even know. So immediately I'm like, restroom. I go into the restroom. There she is, and she's just totally freaking out. And this girl is huge too, so that's why I didn't do anything while I was walking behind her. Like, I wasn't gonna grab her by her arm and be like, girl, you need to come with me right now. I'm tiny, I'm 5'3", I'm skinny, I'm a twig. This girl was tall AF. I know I said she was skinny because she really was skinny, but she looked like, I don't know, like she could. So I go into the restroom and I have the door open and I have my feet holding the door and I'm trying to talk to her, and at the same time I'm trying to peek out to see if there's like any workers around there. I finally see someone. I'm like, could you please get your manager over here right now? Anyway, so she calls the manager and this lady is opening her bag and she's like, I don't have nothing, you can check my bag. So I look in the bag and there's nothing. There's nothing in the bag. It's completely empty. The manager walks in. He's like, what's going on here? I'm like, this girl, by the way, I was like, my heart was like racing so hard. I could barely talk. I was extremely hot. My adrenaline was just to the moon. I don't know what was going on. I was just shaky, but at the same time I had so much in me. I'm like, this girl just took all these items from the store. I work at this place, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna let her go until she gives us her items. And I'm just like going on it. Anyways, so the good thing is the manager is huge and was covering the entire door, so there was no way that the girl was gonna go out running, and basically she had nowhere else to go. So there's 3 different stalls and I'm like, oh hell no, where did she put the stuff? So I go into every single stall. I check the toilet. I check the toilet thingy behind, you know, that little lid that you lift up and you could do that one thingy for it to flush. I check in there. I check the little tampon pad, little trash thing, the little silver one that's like right on the little stall. I checked all 3 of them and I can't find nothing, and I'm just like, did I miss something? Did I lose her by like coming into Goodwill? She ran, she took out her stuff, she threw them in like one of the aisles, and I just didn't see it, because when I was coming in, literally like ducking to see underneath to see if there was anything on the floor, because I did think about that, like, oh, maybe she just like threw them and then later is gonna pretend that she didn't take anything. Anyways, so after checking all of the stalls, I'm just like, you know what, the trash. I removed that little trash thingy up and I check in there, and there they are, the items. And then this girl, she's like, okay, I didn't take anything, and then she like forced the manager out the door and then just left. And at that time I was just exhausted. I had my items. I'm like, you know what, whatever, I'm not gonna run after her. It was before noon on a weekday. There was no one at Goodwill, so we didn't make a huge scene, which is a good thing, but I did apologize and I just like left. I walked back into the store, and then my heart is still racing, and I'm just like, why do I continue to do stuff like this? Why do I keep putting myself in that position when I know it could be so dangerous? Like, I know it's just another girl, but it's a way older girl in her early 30s. You know how those older females look that smoke a lot, and you can see like their bony knuckles and like their veins, but yet they look like really stiff, like they can make a fist and it's just all bones. And I mean, bones hurt. I ended up telling my husband, and he obviously, out of all of the crazy stories that I have told him before, he's just like, why do you continue doing this to yourself? And it's just like, I don't even know. And I guess like looking back at it, it's completely understandable. I am beyond stupid for just doing that and just putting myself out there. I don't know. No, I want things to be fair, and I'm dumb, plain and simple. Anyways, there you go. Those are my 2 crazy stories. I feel really weird right now just sharing that with you guys, because obviously this is gonna go public, and it's kind of like scary in a way. It really was a big deal to me to have a stranger take out a pocket knife and point it right to your face. That's just crazy, but it is what it is. The reason why I decided to do this was because my sister watches story times and they're like her favorite, so she's like, you should do it. And I'm just like, girl, I have so many crazy story times that I could just do like episode after episode after episode. But anyways, this was my first one. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe down below right now. Please subscribe, guys. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts were about this, and if you guys have any crazy story times as well. Bye, guys.